This is Gemara Baba Basra Daf Lamid Dalid. And we're holding on the bottom of Lamid Gimel Amid Beis, as the Gemara quotes yet again another case of Chazaka. Ha'udi Amar. We're about 10 lines at the bottom of Lamid Gimel Amid Beis. The first one line is the Amar. Hu Darma Lechavri my boys vayara. What in the world are you doing in my field? And what does he respond? Amar Le Minach Zamne. I bought it from you. B'chadash Chazaka. I see shni, and he brings 1/8. So yesterday we had a case where he brings the Yedim that he ate there for 2 years. Instead, he has to return it. He has to return the payers. Now he actually has he has proof that he ate there for 3 years, but he only has 1/8. What is the halacha? Says the Gemara. This is the famous case of Nascha de Rav Abba. Explains the Gemara what's the case. Someone grabbed a Nascha, a silver bar from his friend. Now, really the discussion that we're going to have right now is only over the pay raise. Let's just be clear. He didn't bring Eidim that he was there for 3 years. Therefore, he has to give the field back. The question is, what about the pay raise that he ate for the past 3 years? On one hand, he just had to return the field, so maybe you'd have to return the pay raise he ate. On the other hand, he has an Eid Echad that says what he did was right. So how do we view a scenario that one has an Eid Echad proving he was correct? Says the Gemara, this is the famous Nascha de Rav Abba. What's Nascha de Rav Abba? So 4 lines from the bottom says the Gemara, do Nascha de Rav Abba, do Gaver the Chatam Nascha Mechaver, grab the silver bar from his friend. Also Kamei de Rav Ami, they came in front of Rav Ami, Avi Yosef Rav Abba Kamei. Rav Abba was sitting in front of Rav Ami. And the one who's claiming it's his bar of silver brought 1/8 that he came and he grabbed the silver from him. So Amar Lei, so the guy who was being brought to Bezdin that he grabbed the silver responded, it's true. Yes, Chatvi. You're right. I did grab the bar of silver just like your singular aid said. But I grabbed it because it's mine. Because you stole it from me. What is the halacha? And of course, we can realize the parallel of these cases. Similarly, in this case, the guy has an aid that he ate there for the last 3 years. And the question is, was it his own stuff? Was he allowed to be there or not? So now we're focusing, zeroing in on Nascha de Rav Abba, on this bar of silver. We have an aid that says, I grabbed it. I'm admitting I grabbed it, but I'm saying the reason I grabbed it is because you originally stole it from me. So Amar Rav Ami, says Rav Ami, as we turn over to Lamed Daled Amid Aleph, Heicha Nidainu Adia Neli Haidina. How do Dayanim Dan this critical case? Bunch of options. L'shalem. Do we say that he has to pay for the bar of silver? Like a Tresadi. There aren't 2 Eidim saying that he has to pay. Lipatri. Do we say that he should be potter? Ikachad Sadi. There's 1 Eid that says he grabbed it. Lishtaba. Should he swear? Amar Mechta Chatva. What's he swearing to? He admitted that he grabbed it. And once he admits he grabbed it, in his own words, he's basically saying that he stole it. Now, he's claiming he stole it because you originally stole it from me. But he's saying he stole it. So we're not going to be able to let him make a shvuah. Why not? Because if he, with his own words, is saying he's a gazlin, we're not going to let a gazlin swear. So Rav Ami says, I don't know what to do. To pay you cannot, to pater you cannot, to swear you cannot. So Amr Lahu Rav Abba. So Rav Abba was sitting over there and said, Rav Abba, this is a case in which one is obligated a shvuah, but he's not able to swear. And the halacha is, and therefore, since he cannot swear, Lamaisa, he has to give it back. He has to pay. And therefore, they wanted to say that this should be the same thing in our case. That in our case, in essence, the guy who's living there for 3 years, he should have to swear. However, he can't swear because he's being minded that he took it for 3 years. Therefore, they wanted to prove from this famous case of Naschal de Rav Abba that he would have to pay back the produce for the past 3 years. Amar Leah Abaye, 5 lines from the bottom, says Abaye, no raya. Me dummy. Hasam, in that case, Sadi la Rikasi. In that case, the aid is coming against him. Over there, the aid was the one that came along and said that you grabbed it. Only afterwards did he say, it's true, I did, but you stole it from me. And therefore, ki asa achrina bahadei, mafkin Allah minei. And therefore, let's say there would have been another aid. If there would have been a second aid, it would have been pashit that he would have to pay back the nascha, the silver bar. So therefore, when there's one aid, what do we say? We say you really should swear. You're not able to swear, you have to pay. That's in the case of nascha de Rav Abba. But says Abaye, hacha, in our case, it's the exact opposite. The guy who's living in the field, he's the one that brought this aid, proving that he was right, proving that he was in the field properly for 3 years. And therefore, what would have happened if he had 2 aidim? If he would have had a second aid, he would have won the court case. And therefore, says Abaye, the cases are not parallel. In your case of Nascha, the original aid is coming keneged him. So therefore, if there would have been another one, he would have lost the case. So now there should, in essence, be a chiyuv shvur, which he can't make. So he has to pay the silver. But in our case, what's the one aid coming? The aid is not coming keneged him. The aid is coming for him, proving he was allowed to be there. So if there was another aid, he would have won. So there should never be a chiyuv shvur in the first case, and therefore we have no raya that he has to pay back the produce that he ate for the past 3 years. Elai damya, says the Gemara. So if it's similar to any case, ha de Rav Abba, if you want to complete the case, is l'chad sada uletarti sheni uleperi. It's going to be a case of one aid where he only ate for 2 years, not 3 years. And in that case, you would then have a raya that if you have one aid that he ate there for 2 years, then in essence, the aid is coming keneged him. It's not proving that he was allowed to be there for 3 years. Again, there's one essential detail here, that once a guy is there for 3 years, it proves it's his. So it's true that the aid is saying he ate the other guy's stuff. But if it's a 3-year proof, then it becomes his. So says the Gemara, we have no raya. If the aid came to say that he was there for 2 years, then then it would be just like the case of Naschal de Rav Abba, and then he should have to swear. He wouldn't be able to swear, and he'd have to pay back the produce. But in our case, concludes the Gemara, we do not have a raya. What would the din be when there's one aid that he ate there for 3 years? And the Gemara leaves it without answering the Shaila. Of course, the Rishonim and the others deal extensively with what would the din be. But for our case, let's move on to another story. Hahu Arba, there was a boat. There was a boat that 2 people were fighting about. Hi Amar, this guy says, Didehi, the boat is mine. By Amar Didehi. Each one is claiming the boat is theirs. Asa Khan Minayu Lebeidina. One of them comes to Bezdin, Va'amar Tifsua. One of them came in front of Bezdin and said, grab the boat. Adamaisina Sadi, until I can bring Eidim, Dididehi. Until I can bring Eidim, that it's mine. Says the Gemara, Tafsinan, Alay Tafsinan. What's the story? Does Bezdin take the boat or not? Again, Reuven and Shimon are fighting over the ownership of the boat. Hi Amar Didehu, Vai Amar Didehu. Each one saying it's theirs. One of them came to Bezdin, says, Bezdin, help me. We're in a stalemate over here. And says to Bezdin, Bezdin, can you take the boat and hold on to it until I can bring Eidim? So says the Gemara, does Bezdin take it or not? Tafsinan or loy tafsinan? So we have a machlokes. Ravuna Amar says Ravuna tafsinan. Bezdin indeed takes the boat. Rav Yehuda Amar loy tafsinan. They don't take the boat. So what happened? Lamaisa, in this case, Bezdin went, like Ravuna, took the boat into their possession. And now, what happened next? Azov Lashich Sadi, guess what? He said he wanted to bring Eidim. He went and he couldn't find Eidim. So Amar Lo, so he comes back to Bezdin and says, I give up. I can't find Eidim. Afkua, get rid of the boat. Meaning, there's nothing to be done. So he tells the Bezdin, you don't have to hold on to it anymore. And what happens? V'chol da'alim gvar. And the guy tells Bezdin, no reason for you to hold it on anymore. Bezdin, you could get rid of it. And now what's halacha going to be? We know the halacha, we know this back from the beginning of Bam Mitzvah, that what happens when we have a stalemate, Hayamar Dideu, Vayamar Dideu, and no one can bring a raya either way. The halacha is going to be, Kol Da'alim Gvar, whoever is stronger is going to win. Now what does it mean, Kol Da'alim Gvar? Whether it means in physical strength, whether it means in Eidos, in Rayos, a different story. But that's what he tells Bezdin. So now says the Gemara, the same Shaila. Mafkinan loy mafkinan. Do we listen to him and release the boat or not? Rav Yehuda Amar says Rav Yehuda loy mafkinan. We don't listen to him. Rav Papa Amar, yes, we do indeed listen to him. Mafkinan ve'elchasa. And concludes the Gemara. What's the story? Loy tafsinan. Really, Bezdin should never have taken it in the first place. But if we did, then loy mafkinan, a little bit of a middle level between all the cases. Really, we're paslik Rav Yehuda in both regards. That's what's going to happen to the boat in which they're both fighting over. We'll stop over here. We'll pick it up from here. B'siyata dishmaya.